It's an industrial printer in a high-security California processing facility. It is currently churning out the gold standard of American identification, the Real ID. It features a laser-engraved ghost image and a heavy polycarbonate body. There is a shimmery, holographic star positioned in the top right corner. This is the federally mandated solution for national travel and secure access. It was engineered to be unforgeable. But for 325,000 residents, these cards are legally void before they even reach the mailbox. On January 2nd, 2026, the California DMV confirmed the discovery of a system error. A routine internal processing glitch had turned a multi-year security rollout into a mountain of high-tech waste. 325,000 cards must now be reissued, reprinted, and mailed again. It is a failure of the microscopic. In South Dakota, the state's entire IT infrastructure recently went dark for 2 days. The cause wasn't a sophisticated cyber attack, but mislabeled wires in a basement server room. In Waterbury, Connecticut, the water system sits in a 6-day outage while officials plan emergency repairs. And in late 2025, Amazon Web Services outages disrupted essential services for thousands of New York residents. We are building a world of high-spec security and cloud-based reliability. Yet the most sensitive systems in the country are being paralyzed by simple clerical mismatches and physical wiring mistakes. This is the reality of the 325,000 plastic errors. It is a look at how the modern state is being undermined by its own basic maintenance. The Real ID was supposed to be the final word in identity security. It was a multi-year, multi-billion-dollar federal mandate to standardize the way we move through the world. But the more sophisticated a system becomes, the more it relies on the invisible. On October 31st, 2025, South Dakota's entire state IT infrastructure went dark. Investigators didn't find a zero-day exploit or a sophisticated phishing ring. They found mislabeled wires in a basement server room. A technician had simply failed to identify the physical wiring correctly. That one oversight brought a state government to its knees for 48 hours. 7 weeks later, in Waterbury, Connecticut, the taps ran dry. A 6-day water system outage forced the city into emergency repairs of its distribution network. While the public is told to trust in the cloud and high-spec encryption, the physical foundation is fraying. In San Francisco, city supervisors are currently blasting PG&E over recurring power grid failures. The Board of Supervisors has launched a formal inquiry into the public utility system. This is the climate into which the California DMV released its newest update. The agency announced the discovery of a system error regarding its Real ID database. It isn't a minor glitch affecting a few dozen drivers. It is a mandatory reissuance of 325,000 secure federal identification cards. 325,000 citizens are currently holding brand new plastic rectangles that the state no longer recognizes. To understand how this happens, you have to look past the holographic stars and the laser engravings. You have to look at the fragility of the data entry that powers them. The discovery didn't come from a security alarm or a triggered firewall. It came from a routine audit of the Real ID database. A simple internal notification flagged a system error found. For months, the DMV had been syncing state driver records with federal verification data. It is a high-stakes digital handshake between two massive government architectures. But a single clerical script, a routine administrative update, had malfunctioned. This wasn't a coordinated attack by a foreign actor or a malicious breach. It was a data mismatch. A sequence of entries where the physical card's security features failed to align with the back-end digital record. 325,000 times over. The error is as embarrassingly small as the mislabeled wires in that South Dakota basement. A line of code designed to verify identity ended up invalidating it instead. The unforgeable Real ID was now a ghost in the machine. The state had successfully manufactured 325,000 high-spec security objects. And then, through a routine processing glitch, it accidentally deleted their legal right to exist. The breach wasn't a hole in the fence, it was a typo in the blueprint. The response begins with 325,000 letters hitting the mail. The instruction from the California DMV is blunt. The high-security card in your wallet is no longer valid. California DMV to reissue 325,000 Real IDs after system error found. It is a logistical rollback of a multi-year federal rollout. Without these cards, federal travel privileges for hundreds of thousands are effectively frozen. The cost of the specialized polycarbonate, the laser engraving, and the secure shipping is staggering. But the DMV isn't the only agency managing a collapse of the mundane. In San Francisco, city supervisors are moving beyond frustration. They blast PG&E, launching a formal inquiry into the public utility system after the December outages. It's a pattern of systemic failure that stretches across state lines. In Waterbury, Connecticut, the water department is forced into emergency repairs. They are coming off a 6-day outage that left taps dry across the city. The distribution network simply couldn't hold. And in South Dakota, officials are still answering for the 2-day statewide IT shutdown. They admit it was mislabeled wires responsible for the blackout. The fallout isn't a single event, but a series of quiet admissions. The state-of-the-art fails because the labels are wrong and the databases aren't synced. The San Francisco Board of Supervisors calls for accountability, but the systems are too large to pivot. The DMV's industrial printers are now running around the clock to fix the mismatch. 325,000 brand new cards are being manufactured to replace 325,000 brand new cards. It is an expensive loop of administrative correction. And for the citizens waiting on the mail, the promise of a secure identity is currently stuck in a backlog. At a state disposal facility, the noise is constant. It's the sound of a heavy-duty industrial shredder. Thousands of brand new, federally compliant, real IDs are being fed into the hopper. These are the 325,000 system errors. The laser-engraved ghost images and holographic stars are reduced to fine plastic grain. The DMV has not released the final cost of the reprint. They call it a mandatory reissuance. In South Dakota, technicians are finally tracing the mislabeled wires back to their terminals. In Waterbury, the 6-day outage has ended, but the infrastructure remains fragile. Meanwhile, the high-speed printers in California continue to hum. They are churning out another 325,000 pieces of plastic to replace the ones that were never used. It is a high-tech loop of administrative correction. 325,000 identities, waiting to see if the next digital handshake holds.